And welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight. Friday, the 19th of November, 2021. So viewers, remember, those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for a property to buy, you can also contact me. And remember, Real Talk Finance and Investment Company, we are having our food drive. All you have to do is make a contribution of $1,000 to put food on the table for the less fortunate come Christmas Eve. So this is why we are having our food drive, viewers. We started it early for the Christmas season. I know when they get busy for the Christmas season, we just forget the less fortunate. So we started it off early this year. Remember, the BMW, we're giving it away in the second week of December. So it will be a gift for some individual for the Christmas. Remember, we also have the Range Rover up for grab too. So viewers, for the month of November, Real Talk Investment and Financing Company, on a fixed deposit with us, you will get 2.75%. You're getting that nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago in no financial institute. So remember, you want to set up a fixed deposit account, you want to gain 2.75%, that is $2,750 on $100,000 fixed deposit for 3 years. So feel free to contact them, viewers. So we're starting off our program tonight. According to the updated Public Health Guidelines 2021, persons who fail to wear a mask in a vehicle or vessel will be fined $2,000. I want to let you understand that. This fine was previously $1,000. The new regulation also states that entry into a business The new regulation also states that entry into a premises without being vaccinated holds a fixed penalty of $5,000. While if an owner of a business fails to comply with entry requirements, holds a fixed penalty of $25,000. What the hell is the Ministry of Health really doing? You gonna tell me this crap they bring out? All you give hotels in Tobago $50 million and all you want civilians, all you want business people to pay for it? Who came up with this? Was it the Attorney General? Was it the Prime Minister? Was it Terence Dial? Was it the CMO? $50 million all you give Tobago hotels, while 16,000 people in Trinidad, they got blank. They got blank. They could not receive 1 cent. To top it off now, persons fail to wear a mask in a vehicle or a vessel, you will be fined $2,000. Terrence, or let's what are smoking? Cow dung? So much business places closed off in Trinidad and Tobago. And the Prime Minister, the health facility, the Attorney General, the Ministry of Finance, how many people got help? But only take $50 million a few days back to give hotels in Tobago. Last year, only took another $50 million and only give Tobago hotels to paint up. Now you want to tell me, because you removed the curfew for a little balance in Tobago, all you're telling the citizens now, with the new regulation also states that the entry into a premises without being vaccinated holds a fixed penalty of $5,000. If an owner of a business fails to comply with entry requirements holds a fixed penalty of $25,000. This is how we're fixing the economy? Who come up with this cock and bull regulation? Who come up with that? This is the best they could do? Or they're penalizing the citizens. So the business owners now, I want to hear in the coming weeks now what all they have to say. I want to hear what all the chambers of commerce have to say. The business association, the Rotary Club. I want to hear what all they have to say now. Instead of we go up the ladder, they remove the whole bloody ladder so we cannot climb. This is what the government doing to us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. That is what they're doing. And you know what we're saying? We're saying great is the PNM. So all the PNM business people, all the PNM supporters, this is what all you're facing now. If you're unvaccinated, you cannot go into our property. Why am I saying that? There's a penalty of $5,000. And for the business owner now, if you don't comply with that, you will face $25,000. Who came up with that cock and bull regulation? Was it the Attorney General? Was it Terence Dial Singh or was it the Prime Minister? I want to know. So those people now who rent in business spaces and depending on the general public, what them going and do? What them going and do, Keith? Terence, what them going and do? Or let's take up $50 million and give a private institute as hotels in Tobago. But we had to pay the penalty for that. I want to hear what y'all are saying now. How will a Christmas going and be? How will a Christmas going and be? The unvaccinated now, where are they going? Where are they going? CMO, where are they going? Keith Rowley, where are they going? Minister of Finance, where are they going? But we like it so. We like it so. I want to hear from the head of the business chambers throughout Trinidad and Tobago, what are they going to do now? Because if an unvaccinated person come in all your property, in all your business, all you're paying $25,000. $25,000. We agree with it? Do we agree with it? So you're trying to tell me now, only vaccinated people I have to do business with? Terence? Only vaccinated people I doing business with? CMO? Only vaccinated people I have to do business with? The Innovative Democratic Alliance, IDA, has called out the government, accusing them of using the now ended state of emergency as a political tool for the December 6th Tobago House of Assembly election. IDA leader Dr. Dennis Tosafat Angus stated that her party is of the firm belief that the ending of the SOE was to accommodate the PNMs on the ground for electoral activities for the polls. IDA is calling on the government to specifically the Prime Minister to come clean and let the truth be told. Don't expect the truth from the Prime Minister. Don't expect no truth from the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley had previously dismissed opposition UNC questions on whether the SOE was being removed to allow THA campaign. However, he responded by saying there is no canvassing at night. Call her good night. Hello? Minister of Health Saieed Ali has stated that as the SOE and curfew come to an end, he is deadly afraid. Why? There will be a further rise in COVID-19 cases, which are already at an alarming rate. The minister also expressed concerns that persons were becoming densified to COVID-19 deaths. However, despite the high numbers, Dayal Singh said he was hopeful that the country would come out on top. You're coming out on top? I now tell you viewers, I now mention to you, the new regulation also states that entry into a premises without being vaccinated hold a fixed penalty of $5,000, while if an owner of a business fails to comply with the entry requirements, holds a fixed penalty of $25,000. And Terrence, you want to say we coming out on top? Let me tell you something. We coming out on top with poverty down we throat. Let me tell you something. I do business what nobody say, you know. You see this piece of madness? This piece of madness have to change. Take what I'm telling all you. I want to hear from the Business Association in Trinidad and Tobago. That's what I want to hear from. All of them who supported the PNM in hooray of managing COVID-19. I want to, let me see how much hooray all you're saying. Boy, this is real madness, you know. This is real madness. Terrence here again urged persons to get vaccinated and states that no one seems to care about healthcare workers who are exhausted. But Terrence, and just Thursday night I was mentioning to you that professionally trained healthcare workers are leaving the country. They are leaving the country. The nurses who's supposed to get 3 years contract got 3 months and 6 months contract, while Cubans are getting 3 years. And you talking about healthcare exhausted? Terrence, boy, let me tell you something. You better you go and drink some cold cow soup, you know. Some beef soup or some kind of thing. Take what and go for a vacation because you ain't doing nothing for Trinidad health. Nothing. You the same man who said rip a jersey and tie it around your mouth and your nose and cover your face. 2-3 days after that, we have a penalty if we wear a mask. You the same man who said it costs in the state $200,000 to keep a COVID-19 patient in a facility. What kind of medicine all you use? What kind of medicine all you use? And this piece of hey, Trinidad and Tobago, that's what they're swallowing, you know. That is what all they're swallowing. $25,000 for a business owner if he lets an unvaccinated individual in his premises, in his business place. And all the ball and hooray PNM. Call a good night.
Yes, good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
Hey, we'll talk with you here now. Last year election, we had the COVID, right? July month, Rowley Fall election. How much COVID we had? How much COVID we had?
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, I want to hear what all you have to say concerning the unvaccinated entering business places. Right after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali. Consultant and real estate businessman.
Can't watch Real Talk on TV? Have no fear. You can also watch Real Talk on the go live on YouTube and Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali on YouTube.com and TT Real Talk on Facebook.com. Don't forget to like us and share us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716. For further information, our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Ayanna Webster Roy, has stated that the $50 million allocation to the Assembly is simply the government carrying out its policy and not an election gimmick to help the PNM win the December 6th THA election. She states, she made these comments while dismissing claims from another quarters that the release of the allocation was linked to the election. At a post-executive news conference, THA Chief Secretary Ansel Dennis announced that the Assembly has received a further $50 million. A further $50 million. Remember in 2020 they got $50 million. The government to assist hotelers and displaced workers in the accommodation sector. Listen to this.
I am here to also announce that following the presentation of the last national budget, the Minister of Finance did indicate that following, of course, our request from the Tobago House of Assembly to make additional resources available so that we can continue to provide much needed support and stimulus to the economy in Tobago, some $50 million has been made available to the Tobago House of Assembly following the last budget exercise, and we intend to utilize that funding as follows. $15 million will be made available to the accommodations sector again, and this time there will be some added flexibility to allow those businesses to utilize the funding to treat with other expenses outside of upgrading their premises.
How come the Trinidad hotelers ain't get no money? How come? How come 16,000 people didn't got a grant, they didn't qualify? How come? They may have a business, they work in CPEP. They might have a hotel. Webster Roy, who is also Tobago East MP, said there was nothing unusual about the timing of the release of the 50 million to the Assembly. Let me tell you something. Citizens, if all don't stand up and start demanding answers from all the MPs and councillors in all the constituency, crap or smoke all your pipe in 2022. Because you see with the new regulation, whoever owns a premises and you have unvaccinated people coming is a penalty of $25,000 for you. Let me see what they go do. Let me tell you something. This month you ain't zipping it. I will continue talking. So what's going to happen for Christmas? What going to happen? THA Chief Secretary Ansel Dennis have stated that the 50 million tourism and hospitality sector support program is a deliberate and strategic plan to further stimulate the Tobago economy. He stated that the money would also support individuals and businesses in Tobago that have been hit hard by the pandemic. What about the small man in Trinidad and Tobago, who was hit hard? What did them get? In a report released yesterday, 16,000 people were blanked from receiving salary relief grant. When Saieed talks, Saieed bashing PNM. I ain't bashing PNM, you know. It's some foolish decisions they're making, and you, the citizens, have to pay for it through tax. Dennis added that it is a continuation and not a response to the election.
Who wishes to see it as an election gimmick, they are free so to do. But I premised my statement on the fact that the budget was read in October. This arrangement was announced in the budget as part of the spending to be incurred here in Tobago. And it is a continuation of what we have been doing throughout this pandemic.
Here it is. This funding will help hoteliers, guest house operators, and bed and breakfast owners to refurbish their property. So hear this now. How old is your property? How long have you been in business? February to March 2020, COVID-19 introduced itself to Trinidad and Tobago. This is, today is November 19th, 2021. So because of 2020 and 2021 now, your business rotten down. You're paying fade. The beds and the chairs and them, it's shaking, it's rocky, your roof leaking. In 2 years, all this happened. Your bed with the guests sleeping on, it break down. The mattress soil, the sheet rip up, all the walls break down. Your roof leaking, your ceiling fall down. As soon as COVID introduced itself to Trinidad and Tobago, all these things happen to hotels and guest house. Prior to that, all I was making all your money. But because of COVID-19 in 2020, in 2021 now, all I get money now to refurbish. How long your business running? How long your business running? While we had business shutting down in Trinidad, the PM didn't see that. Karens didn't see that. Minister of Finance did not see that. The 16,000 that were blank from salary relief, oh God, them not existed in Trinidad. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
I just always say and tell people in this country that is a cesspit is governing this country. But anyway, I'm so sorry for my country. We have a bald-headed daddy. I give me a banana and he made me happy.
Thank you, my friend. So hear this now. Let me top it off with that cherry on it. Dennis also noted that 30 million of that money helped several Tobago hotels to upgrade their facility that provided much needed revenue and employment in Tobago. So I say again, before March last year, 2020, how long was your business in existence? Were you making money? It didn't have COVID, so you had to be making money. Now that COVID hit, the government giving you money now to refurbish your hotel. Hey. And we balling great as the PNM. How much time disaster struck Trinidad? How many of all get grants to do over all their roof? To buy furnitures? How much money released to fix landslip? 2 years, COVID-19 and pandemic, and hotels getting bailout. What about the poor man who don't have a business? No bailout for them because they don't have a business. We like it so. Great as the PNM. Who vexed by me? That's not a problem, you know. Because I will tell you something. When the hotel is making money, how much of that profit they're spending on you? How much? Ayana could say what they want. The Prime Minister could say what they want. Parents could say what he wants. And both could say what they want. Because at the end of the day, their salary is not affected. It's you, the Trinidadians and Tobagonians. Salary are affected. When business shut down, the Prime Minister still getting his money and perks, you know. Same thing with the Minister of Health. Same thing with Colin Imbert. But you know what? We is duncy head people. We is duncy head people. And it have some of them more stupid. What PNM take PNM? Like I say, I have nothing against party Navin. But the decision you're making affecting Trinbagonians, and that is what I standing up for. That is what I standing up for. Rohan said, we have money to buy material to fix the road. While we contributing to tax. But hotel out of two business. 2 years now. Hotel out of business. And all I give them money to paint up. To change chairs, to change bed, to buy new wares, to fix their ceiling. What about the money them were making prior to 2020? Where the hell all that money gone? Where it went? We need answers. Keith, we need answers. But we need answers. Caller, good night.
Salam alaikum, Mr. Said.
Wa alaikum salam.
Now I'm taking you up on Tobago affairs.
I want you, before you go further, caller. Before you go further, I want you to understand something. I have nothing against Tobago, neither the hotelers.
No, what I'm saying, what the point I'm making is, you and I might be old enough to remember 1960s and 70s. When near time election, PNM paving they're building, they're painting, they're decorating. Right? The next thing I want to tell them, how stupid our Prime Minister could be. The world in COVID, nobody can travel to go to, but you're fixing your house. Eh? You're fixing your house. You're decorating and painting. Who coming in Tobago? The world tells no travel. So who running the money? For your friend and family, so you really say you're fixing it and the poor will get over. That is one thing. The next thing is, what happened to the reputation of right here and APT James and all the world to release people in Tobago? What happened to their reputation, boy? They kicked that down the drain. Eh? People in Tobago had to be stupid. They had to be real stupid. Mama gives them, tell them, listen now, those who are not in technology, the youth and the middle-aged people in Tobago, at a touch of a button, they know what's going on in the world, you know. It's only like Rowdy and Ayana and them like it behind the school. Mr. Said, thank you, and let people wake up Tobago, and let Tobago not to pray and believe that no,
thank you, my friend.
Bye.
With over 1.2 million COVID-19 vaccine doses administered, Minister of Health Terence Yalsing have stated that the Ministry of Health has only 10 reports of adverse reaction, which includes blood clots. Listen to this.
Issue of adverse events. Yeah, so less than 10 is about 5. So a couple of them were in the early days with blood clots. There was one, I believe, with myocarditis, and a couple others. The CMO is really the authority on that.
But he in a press meeting. Y'all believe that? That is the kind of health minister we have. Right around the world we hear about blood clots, but in Trinidad, we can't hear about it. We cannot hear about it. That is what caused vaccine hesitancy, Mr. Yalsing. We're not getting the correct reports. I want to play big. I will keep on treading on all you until I get fed up aside. He added that the population now has a role to play in how TNT navigates the pandemic moving forward. We are already doing that. Is it, Terence? I am a man on the ground. I am a man on the ground. Citizens are already navigating. While all are thinking what to do, we are already putting things in place. So when all come up with stupid plans, like business owners, and people who fail, we already know what to do. But you see, come Monday next week, if an owner of a property or business fails to comply with the entry regulations or the requirements, holds a fixed penalty of $25,000. You see, come Monday next week, watch me. Mark my words. They would not have an easy time with Saeed. Telling all of that tonight on Fire Friday night. Today's the 19th. And I'm telling all of you, see, come next week, every stone will unturn. The Yalsing also presented a graph showing hospital occupancy from May 15th, where he recalled that on September 29, there was a trend. The minister advised the population to work with the Ministry of Health because the figures represent a place that they did not want to be.
We advised the country on the 29th of September that we are hoping that this is not going to be a trend, that we could continue with the plateau. However, 59 days have passed, and today we are at 473 persons in the public healthcare system. In other words, we are back to where we were in May. So it is something that we had advised the population to work with us. However, the figures represent a place where we did not want to be, but we are there.
Terence, I want to ask you something. If China couldn't deal with it, you think you could deal with it? If China couldn't deal with it, with millions of people, you only have 1.4 million people and you can't handle it. You think you can manage with it? You think you can manage with it? But you want to come out. Let me tell you something. It's always blaming the unvaccinated. Come out and bump your gum and tell the citizens how much vaccinated people are having in a healthcare facility. Bump your gum on that. Let the Prime Minister now come out and bump his gum on that. But all I want to penalize individuals, business owner, with the new regulation of allowing unvaccinated people in their business. Wait for Monday night. Wait for Monday night. Minister of Energy Stuart Young have stated that discussions are still being held about the future of the Atlantic LNG Train 1. He was replying to opposition Senator Wade Mark on whether any decision has been taken to decommission Train 1. All I hear that? They decommissioned Petro Train, now they want to decommission Train 1. Great is the PNM, people. Great is the PNM. We didn't want free laptop for we children. So hear this. Remember when COVID hit Trinidad and school, they shut down school? And the ministry was asking corporate TNT, they was asking business places, they was asking citizens to contribute to the ministry so that they could buy laptops and tablets for the children. They didn't have no money. I remember that? Now they allocate 50 million to give Tobago. Great is the PNM, people. Where did 50 million come from? They didn't have money. They begged corporate citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to contribute a tablet or a laptop device so children could go in a room in the house and they would be online. The government didn't have no money to purchase laptop. Where the hell did $50 million come from now to give Tobago? Anyhow, Young stated that the shareholders of Train 1 continue to be in discussion on the future of all Atlantic LNG operation. He added that talks are ongoing.
The shareholders of Train 1 continue to be in discussions as to the future of all of Atlantic LNG's operations, which would include the sharing of costs, income, cargoes, and other related items going forward. Anyone with any ounce of engineering would understand Train 1 being the first plant, the first train in an LNG facility built. There are certain engineering parts that must continue, that 2, 3, and 4 are appended to. So these conversations and discussions continue despite the ramblings of the opposition.
Caller, good night.
Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Mr.
Caller, we do apologize for cutting their distortions within your side to our side. So here it is. Young noted that NGC suffered a loss when $2 billion had to be written off. The UNC government only energy transition challenged Mark to say, let's take it outside. Listen to this.
Vice President, I stood in this booth not too long ago and explained to the people of Trinidad and Tobago that for the first time ever in its history, NGC had suffered a loss on its financial accounts. I take the opportunity to remind the people of Trinidad and Tobago that out of that loss, over $2 billion, not $200,000, $2 billion had to be written off by NGC because of the only energy transaction negotiated by the UNC between 2010 and 2015, a bad deal that in the last financial year cost the NGC $2 billion. I would like to know who will be held accountable for that bad negotiation and the only energy transaction ever negotiated by a UNC government between 2010 and 2015.
Well, Stuarty boy, I want to know the same thing too. I want to know the same thing too. However, his response did not satisfy Mark, who yelled at Young and the Prime Minister should be held responsible for the situations and their sellout.
Could I ask the Honourable Minister, seeing that he has raised this point, whether the Minister of Energy and the Prime Minister are culpable and accountable for the fiasco that has visited NGC because of your sellout in the negotiation with these companies that resulted in this deterioration?
Senator Mark, I'm on my legs.
Say it outside.
Senator, Minister, members. Senator Mark, please take a seat.
Bacchanal. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, feel free to call in. I want to hear what you all have to say concerning the change in the regulations, where fines were moved from 1,000 to 2,000, and business owners having to pay $25,000 if they fail to acknowledge an unvaccinated individual in their premises. Right after.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716. For further information, our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, we have our food drive going on. Christmas is around the corner. Please make a contribution of $1,000 to help the less fortunate get food on their table for the Christmas. Now, let the less fortunate enjoy their Christmas also. And for those of you who have been locking on to Real Talk for the last 3.5 years, you all know we always give away food. We always give away food. That is one of our goals. So I want to hear from you tonight. We have about 15 minutes left on our program. According to the updated Public Health Guidelines 2021, persons who fail to wear a mask in vehicle or vessel will be fined $2,000. Now, this fine was previously $1,000. Secondly, the new regulation also states that entry into a premises without being vaccinated holds a penalty of $5,000, while if an owner of a business fails to comply with entry requirements, holds a fixed penalty of $25,000. Do you agree with that? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead. Short and sweet, my dear.
Yes. You're calling for food to give away for poor people. But Mr. Saieed, it have no poor people. What sort of whining and dining in Tobago? I'm going down low.
I understand what you say. I know where you're coming from.
I wouldn't give them as much as a dry bread.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. I just want to tell you something, moms. Charity paved the way for me. Giving paved the way for me. And if I could run $1 million production without asking anybody for 1 cent to contribute to pay a bill, well, then the charity that I did nothing for me. Take what I'm telling all you. That is why it is encouraged all you to give. To give. Why? Because it will pave the way for all you. But we are shifting from the topic. Do you agree with the fine increase from 1,000 to 2,000 and business owners have to pay a penalty of 25,000? Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Short and sweet.
I hear that talk that they're going to write off all the land tax and building tax for Tobago businessmen and I don't know, find out if I supplement it.
Thank you for the info, my friend. We will check on it. So viewers, do you agree with this? What about the unvaccinated people? Where are they going to shop for Christmas? If this is the new regulation, it better you bring back the SOE. From 10 to 5, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., bring it back. Because if this is the kind of crap guidelines that are bringing out to torment the citizens, all you're forcing people to rob. Take what I'm telling all you. All you're forcing people to rob. Because the businessmen have bills to pay. They have loans. Keith Mansion is about $17 million, you know. His take-home salary is about $50,000 a month, allegedly. What about the health minister? What about Imbert? So here's some facts now. We like PNM. We like Imbert. What Imbert do you? $5,000 if you pay a property tax. That is what Imbert did to you. But we like it so. If I love with Saieed, what would I tell you? Like dumpling and what? Salt. Eat dumpling and salt. You see, I'm going to tell you something. I could take my family from Trinidad to England and live a comfortable life anytime. Anytime I could do that. And forget about Trinidad. But you know what I'm doing? I'm spending a little over $1 million a year. 3.5 years now on TV. Why am I doing that? Because my brothers and sisters in Trinidad and Tobago have no voice. None. So they need somebody to stand with them. Somebody to fight for them. That is what they need. They need somebody to stand up against this kind of crap. They need somebody to stand up against Colin Imbert when he exempted himself from property tax but put a penalty on you if you won't pay yours. Let me tell you something. On Real Talk is only facts you're getting, you know. It's no make-up story here, you know. Is everything rooted out from under the carpet, you know. 16,000 people submitted application forms for salary relief grant, but they were blanked. We don't have money to buy material. We don't have money to give the corporation to buy material to fix the road. Well, we are going to say pave. We're going to say patch the road. But they have $50 million to give to hotelers and guest house and bed and breakfast business people to refurbish their property after it was done for 2 years. Before 2020, how many years were your business in existence? You can tell me you have money to paint over your hotel? You have money to change the bed? You have money to put new tables? So while 16,000 people in Trinidad wondering now, hotels and guest house, bed and breakfast, they're happy because they get money to refurbish their property. While some business in Trinidad and Tobago had to shut the door. Great is the PNM people. I'm bringing facts to all you. Like I said, and I will always say, if the UNC were in power and they were doing this nonsense, you'd have hear my voice. I would have still be the same way. So we like him, but Christmas coming, I'll buy a present for him. What about your Prime Minister? Tobagonians, are you all happy? How much of you in Tobago applied for salary relief grant and got blanked? How many of you? But the business people, the hotelers, the bed and breakfast, the guest house, they get some money to paint over and put new bed and new chairs for people to pay the hotel owners a salary to stay at night or to stay the weekend, while you applied for salary relief grant and got nothing. Straight facts. Call a good night.
Yes, idea and precedent that the PM set in Tobago. Yeah. Everybody's supposed to demand the same treatment in Trinidad here. Right? Otherwise, is that right now is that they form an association there, and it's time to shut down Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, my friend.
It's time to shut down this place.
How many of you Tobagonians went on the zip line? All you know where it is? Have you all seen the cable? What color is the handle to hold to slide on the line? Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Look my boy there. Look my boy. I had to look for him, you know. Anybody have a contact number for this dude? I want to bring him on television so he can show me how to lean back and shake my head when I end up in front of the magistrate because I can't pay property tax. I want them to show me how to. I go let him do a demo for we right here on the stage. Right here, you go come and do a little demo for we. Call her good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead. Short and sweet.
Saieed Ali, I'm telling you my mind. I am not taking no vaccine. The Alvin can say what he wants. He can preach Paul. I'm not taking no vaccines. I will wear my mask. And if I have to do my business, I will go in front of a business door and stand up and call for what I want. If I cannot enter in the premises, and I am not taking no vaccine.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, but I believe he can't preach Paul, you know. Paul may be running from me. Hey, hear this now. Hear this. All I feel is Joe Bacchanal. Where they say, if you the unvaccinated enter in a property and they have to pay $5,000 penalty, and if the business owner don't comply with this regulation, he could pay $25,000. Hear this now. Those of you who want to repair a house and have to go to the hardware, you have to be vaccinated, you know. All I feel is Joe, to go into a credit union, to draw money, to go into the government banks, if you're not vaccinated, I wonder the bank pay any penalty. All you come now, man, talk now, man. All you talk now. Because I was hearing a talk. Very soon, you have to be vaccinated to enter into the bank. And look at stat. So if you don't have a vaccine, I wonder if it could go in the bank. Because with the new guidelines, the owner could be fined $25,000 if an unvaccinated individual enter his premises. So what about banks, groceries, hardware, pharmacies, small business? What going to happen? What going to happen? Let me tell you something. When you tell yourself the country rising up, or you're now climbing the ladder, watch me, they take away the ladder. They move the ladder. So you telling me, Terrence, or Keith, or the AG, my investment company I have, people have to vaccinate to come in my premises to open a fixed deposit? But let me tell you something. If I the only one in Trinidad to give all your run for all your money, I will do it the spiritual way. I'm going down like it all. Caller, good night. Caller?
Hello? Yes,
Go right ahead, my friend.
I believe, right? I don't know if I get it wrong, but somewhere along the line, I have money that gives to Tobago. That money was allocated in the budget. Because them Tobagonian hotels was making mass about that. And they was talking about a little crumbs that government gives to them. So, I can make up, so can it look like it was, but...
Thank you, caller. I ain't hearing them clearly. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going down Leketo. I'm going and join those in Leketo for a change for Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going and join them. And if we have to buy a box of candle and light it, we go buy a box of candle and light it. Because the Hindu priest lighting candle, the Baptist priest lighting candle, the Christian priest lighting candle, I will light candle too. Let me tell you something. All I feel is joke punishment. All I getting the raw deal. Why? Great is the PNM. All I hear me about talking PNM? No, all I can't hear side by talking PNM. All I bring it to you is the facts. Is the facts I bring it to you. No makeup thing. And that's what we had to deal with. So, I want to hear what all those business chambers and commerce of chambers and the pharmaceutical board and the hardware board and the private doctor practice board. I want to hear what all of them have to say. The grocery board. I will try to get to achieve Monday. So if you're not vaccinated, you cannot go into our premises. And if the business owner failed to let the people know only vaccinated, he gets a penalty of $25,000. How many people now, before we close, how many business people now going and finance? Great is the PNM. When the day turn around and biting all you. So viewers, we're out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, our run of this Friday night show is on Monday morning from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember, make a contribution. There are less fortunate people, and we want to make them happy come December. So until we meet again, be safe and enjoy the weekend.